Welcome to Book Bites with Rebecca and Rebecca.
Whetting your appetite for your next read.
Hey everyone, welcome to Book Bites with Rebecca and Rebecca. It's a little tasty treat for your day to whet your appetite for your next book read. And I'm Rebecca Yager, coming to you from outside Dallas, Texas. And my partner in books is Rebecca Reed in Indiana. Hi, Rebecca.
Hi, how are you today?
We're doing good. We're excited about Book Bites, aren't we? We're having a good time with
Yes.
this. So, our guest today is the lovely and talented and very busy Jessica Stone. Jessica, welcome.
Thank you so much. It's so good to see you, ladies.
So, well, it's good to see you. Now, you are a new author to us and to our audience. You wrote a wonderful book called Beauty in the Bittersweet, which we'll talk more about. But let's hear about you. I know you're an author and you like screenwriting and you're filming stuff. So can you give us a real quick bio about you so people can get to know you?
Absolutely. So right now I'm living in North Carolina, although there is very possibly a move to Nashville, Tennessee, in the works in about a year, which that's where my series, including Bittersweet, is set. Um, I have a 27-year-old daughter who's a fashion designer in Paris. And yeah, in my nothing but free time, which is all I have these days because I'm not working outside of the creative space, I write books, I write screenplays, and I occasionally have parts in movies as well.
That's
Goodness.
fascinating. So much going on, and I thought I was busy. Goodness. That's awesome. So, yes, welcome to Book Bites. We're so excited to have you. Um,
Okay, well,
I
let's
I'm
get
sorry, I
started.
jumped in there and it's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm really excited about all that
She
stuff.
I'm excited to be here. I really am.
when she jumps in, she's ready to roll here. So we'll get started. We're going to talk specifically about your debut novel, which is Beauty in the Bittersweet. And so the basic question is, where did the idea for the book come from?
So, believe it or not, in 2012, I pretty much died and was brought back. I was very sick for several months, ended up in the hospital and in a coma, and my organs were shutting down, and they told my parents to prepare for
Oh,
me not surviving. And obviously, I did. And one of my first thoughts while I was in recovery was all of the things that my daughter, who was a teenager at the time, would have just never known about me as anything other than a mother if I had not survived. And the idea for this story just kind of crept in, and I was thinking, if I had kept journals, then she could have known more about what I was like throughout the years instead of, she was like 12 at the time. And there's just certain things you don't share with a 12-year-old, but that you might want them to know in the future. So the premise for this story was that a mother has kept journals her entire life and she does pass away unexpectedly. And her daughter finds the journals, and it really kind of helps her to cope and deal and get advice from her mother on a lot of difficulty and trials that she's going through at the time outside of her mother dying.
Right.
that's an
Yeah.
amazing the idea.
I was gonna say
I'm glad you're here.
I might have started that off on kind of a big note there, but yeah, God saved me from so many things, and that experience really kind of led me onto this writing journey that I'd always wanted to be a writer, but had never really pursued it, and not as a creative writer. I'd been a journalist for a while, but um, yeah, the story just really kind of took on a life of its own.
So obviously the premise was kind of the first thing that you came up with. So how did you develop your characters then from that and decide on the setting?
So you can't see my shirt because it's like way down, but Nashville is truly like my favorite city in the United States. And so I knew it was going to be set there. But my daughter and I were always compared to the Gilmore Girls just because we have so many parallels with them. Like our relationship is similar. And I actually, years later, ended up 18 years like after Kaylee was born, her father and I ended up getting married. Like we full circle ended up back together. So it's like Lorelai and Christopher in Gilmore Girls. So I knew that that was kind of going to be the relationship that the story would be based on. And Nashville, as I said, is just one of my favorite stories, and I really am all about the music scene. Cannot sing a note, but the behind the scenes of the music scene was really a fun thing to pull into the story. And I have a lot of friends that are musicians in Nashville, so I had a lot of help writing things authentically as well.
No,
Right. Well, that's really cool. I'm actually writing a book set in Nashville at the moment too, so I may have to pick your brain
I was going to say, if
about
you
some of
need some
that.
connections, I've got some.
hmm, hmm. No,
So
Clovis, I
did,
was born outside of Nashville. Does that count? Just
yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
I'll
Sure.
come to you when we are house hunting so that you can direct me where to go.
Um, oh, I was going to ask. Okay, so we've got the characters. We've got Elle, who is it Elle or Ellie? How would you pronounce
L. It's
Elle?
L,
Okay.
and it's short for Brielle. Once you read the story, you kind of find out that she had her mother miscarried a younger sister, so they were Brielle and Brienne, and it's kind of a
Mm.
significant point in the story.
All right. So Elle and her mother passes away, and having and I don't we don't do spoilers, but her and her husband things aren't wonderful. Best friends
Mhm.
going through a lot. So Elle is just in the middle of this chaos of things. So, but as you're writing all these characters, because there are a lot and a lot of fun side characters, which Rebecca and I love. Um, when you were writing it, did any of the characters surprise you, go off the rails, do something different than you expected?
Very much. So, Josh, who is her best friend's significant other in the story, he was not her significant other. He was supposed to be a side character. So I guess I'm kind of saying this backwards. He was supposed to just be a name on the page. He wasn't even a real person. He was someone who had jumped in to do a work thing for Elle's husband, and was just a name. And he ended up showing up in a significant way. And when he pushed his way in and decided that he was going to make a play for the best friend Carrie, I was like, what are you doing, dude? Like, you're not even, you have a face now. Like, I got to figure out who you are and what you look like. And it became so significant that actually the second book in the series is their story. So
Oh.
I'm like, you went from being basically a nobody. His name was actually Nick in the beginning. And I actually found someone in Nashville who had the same job title as what he has in the story, and really like dug in deep with that, and ended up naming the character after him. And I'm so sorry if you can hear that sound. Someone's doing yard work
You're actually
outside of
fine.
my house. It's very loud for me. I'm sorry.
We've had that before. Don't worry, but we can't hear it. I can't
I can't
anyway.
hear it either. So,
Okay.
Um, well, I'm
yeah.
glad that Josh and Carrie are getting their story. Now, how many books are you planning for this series, and have you finished writing them or in process with some of them?
So there will be four, at least, possibly five, because in book four, there's a side character who is also doing the same thing, just kind of trying to make herself more significant. But the second story, as I said, is her best friend's story. And then the third is the villain in book one. Not everyone is all bad. Everyone isn't all bad, is what I should say. So she gets to tell her side of the story, but also like how she grew up to be that kind of person in book three. And then book four is a character who shows up at the end of book one. And I just fell in love with her as I was writing her. And I actually kind of skipped ahead and mostly finished that story already, um, just because I was so excited about what her life was like, and considered at one point making that book one instead of book four, because
Mm.
in the course of time, her story actually starts well before book one actually does. So I don't know. It's kind of funny how it worked out that way. My agent and I decided we would leave it as book four, but I'm so excited for that one to come out. So, and then, as I said, book five is kind of just notes in my head right now.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. So who should read this book? Like, if you were gonna say, like, if you like this, this, and this, or whatever, who should that be?
So I didn't realize this when I was writing it. And in fact, I found this other author just recently. But I find a lot of parallels and similarities with Nicole Deese's writing style.
Mm-hmm.
I love her. And it was so funny because I read one of her books and realized that there were like 10 of the same sorts of things that happened between one of her books and mine. And I was like, she's going to think I copied her. And I didn't. Like, I didn't even know who she was when I wrote it. It's so funny how that happens. But
Hmm.
really, I say, like, if you like character driven stories, I put a lot of thought into the side characters and making them real people instead of just two-dimensional. If you like Gilmore Girls, because there are a lot of Gilmore Girls references, and really, if you like stories with redemptive heartache and hope, because that was really kind of the focus of the story. Is it is a little bit heavy, it's a little bit sad, it's very emotional, but there's so much hope in it.
That's awesome.
Yeah, yeah. We love hope. That's good. And
Yeah,
Nicole is
we're a
someone we
fan.
need to get on, Rebecca. You and I will have to
Yeah, we
work on
should
getting Nicole to
work
be
on
I
part of
that.
this
I
podcast.
adore her stories. I really do. Before I started writing, I actually was more of I love spy novels. And so I was constantly
Mm,
reading spy novels. And then when I started writing, I was like, I guess I better read a little in the genre that I'm
Mhm,
writing in. So I
mhm.
was introduced to, because I grew up reading, you know, in the 80s, Christian fiction. But a lot of those
oh,
authors, Francine Rivers, like I was reading
Mhm,
her when I was young.
mhm.
But the newer contemporary or present day authors, like it was a whole new world for me. And then to meet so many of them when I went to ACFW was really incredible.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
Yeah,
We love
it's interest.
ACFW.
It's so much fun to sit across, the room and say like, I know that person and that person, that person. So yeah, I love doing that too.
I bet.
It's even more fun once they start to know who you are. That's the shocker right there.
It's fun. All right, Jessica, give everyone your website and how they can keep up with you as the rest of
Yes.
this series comes out. So,
Absolutely. So the rest of this series, of course, but then I actually went in a different direction with what will probably be coming out next as a romantic comedy. So
oh, fun.
if you want something to laugh at, then I've got stuff to make you laugh and stuff to make you cry. But my social medias are all Jessica Stone Storyteller. And my website is jessicastonestories.com. Um, and I do newsletters, but I only do them a couple times a year. I want to just kind of keep people up to date with what's going on, but I do a lot of blogging on there as well.
Wonderful.
Okay,
What's the name
sounds
of your
great.
rom-com? That
Uh, right now, tentatively titled "Whisking It All for Love." I don't think it's going to change. And it's a super fun story, and not to give anything away that I shouldn't, but the male protagonist is a blind travel vlogger. And I am good friends with a musician named Blessing Offer, who is also blind.
I
And
love his music. You
yeah,
know
he's a
him?
dear friend. Yeah, he's a very good friend of mine. I'm actually seeing him in a couple of weeks.
Well, tell him I love his
But
music.
I will. He helped me a great deal with this storyline and just really making the character authentic.
Okay,
So
well, that's
Sounds great.
well, folks, it sounds like Jessica Stone is someone you need to be following
I
and
hope you
paying
do.
attention
Thank
to.
you.
But right now, Beauty and the Bittersweet is out, and the rom-com Whisking It All for Love.
Whisking it all for
Uh,
love.
um,
There might be a baker involved.
I was gonna
yeah, might
say
be
some kind of, yeah.
with
It's a
whiskey.
very cute story. It was the most fun to write, and it my agent had asked me for like 2 years to write a romance, and I kept saying no. And then I finally said, well, if I can be snarky with it, because I'm that's my sense of humor, I'll write a romantic comedy. So this story was born and ended up leading to my first screenplay that I wrote. I decided I liked the genre. So wrote a screenplay and we should start filming it this spring.
Oh, awesome.
All your spare time here, Jessica.
All my spare
Hmm.
time and moving to Nashville, hopefully. So
And yeah, in the midst of
house
moving to
hunting.
Nashville.
Yeah.
All right. Well, very good. Rebecca, any other parting thoughts?
No, I can't wait to see what happens next. Sounds like you're doing all kinds of fun things and I'm excited. Thanks for coming. It was really fun to see you again and to hear all the things you've got going on. So
Thank you so much.
definitely.
So glad you had me.
So Jessica Stone's stories, right, for the
Hmm.
website, and Jessica Stone's storyteller for the social media. And check her out, follow and like. And then, of course, if you're interested in what we're doing here on Rebecca and Rebecca, it's RebeccaandRebecca.com and Rebecca and Rebecca reviews on Instagram and Facebook and all of those places. And you can find our all of our podcasts. We have the book bites, and we also have the long form still, the reviews and the interviews on all of the places you find podcasts. So please make sure you're following those as well and subscribe so you don't miss anything because we got a lot going on now. So we're excited about it. So thanks, Jessica. We're so excited to, like I said, have you, and we wish you all the best going forward. So.
Thank you so much, ladies.
All right. We look forward to seeing everyone next time on Book Bites as well as on our regular podcast. So, everyone, take care.